Who am I really? I am a person who is shaped by everything I experience, the victories that lifted me, the struggles that challenged me. I am someone who is still discovering myself. And who am I really? I'm a person who shaped everything. I'm a person shaped by everything I've experienced. Who am I really? I'm a person who is shaped by everything I've experienced, the victories that lifted me, the struggles that challenged me, and I'm someone who is still discovering myself, still learning what I want from life, and still figuring out what kind of impact I want to leave behind. I am more than my fear and mistakes, and more than the expectations that are placed upon me. At my core, I am someone who wants to grow, contribute meaningfully, and live a life that feels authentic. Even if the path it is not, even if the path, that path is not clear, I am a combination of my values, my dreams, my flaws, my fears, and my determination to keep moving forward. What worries me more about the future is that what worries me most about the future I think what worries me most about the future is not knowing whether the decisions I make today will lead me to the life I imagine for myself down the line. Will I find the right opportunities? Whether I'll be financially stable and whether I'll be strong enough to handle challenges I haven't seen yet. I also worry about losing time, that I might spend years on something that doesn't fulfill me. But at the same time, I know that fear is just a reaction to uncertainty. The future will always be unknown, and the best thing that I can do is to stay focused on improving myself now, because there is no point in worrying about the future, and which we cannot change unless we work in the present. If this were the last day of my life, would I have the same plans for today? If today were really my last day, I would probably live it a bit differently. I wouldn't rush through tasks or stress about small problems which are insignificant. I would spend time with the people who matter most and tell them how much they mean to me. I'd take a moment to appreciate the things that I usually overlook: the sky, the air, my own breathing, the feeling of simply being alive. I would try to create at least one memory that feels warm and meaningful. Thinking this way reminds me that maybe I should start adjusting my everyday life so that it seems more joy, more intention, and more connection. What am I really scared of? Deep down, I am scared of not becoming the person I truly believe that I can be. I am afraid of settling for less or letting comfort and fear hold me back from opportunities that could have changed my life. I fear disappointing myself in the long run, not because the mistakes I make, but because of the chances that I didn't take. What am I really scared of? Deep down, I think I'm scared of not becoming the person I believe I can be. I am afraid of settling for less or letting comfort and fear hold me back from opportunities that could have changed my life. I fear disappointing myself in the long run, not because of the mistakes that I make, but because of the chances that I didn't take. I am also scared from being misunderstood by people or losing people I care about. But these fears also motivate me. They push me to try harder, to step out of my comfort zone, and to keep improving so that I don't look back one day with regret for not choosing the. Am I holding on to something that I need to let go of? Yes, I think I'm holding on to certain memories, expectations, and emotional baggage that no longer help me grow. Sometimes I think I need to hold on to old hurts or mistakes because they become familiar. Even though they weigh me down, I might also be holding to people's opinion upon me or to a version of myself that I've outgrown. Letting go doesn't mean ignoring the past. It means accepting that I can't move forward freely while carrying everything behind me. Releasing what no longer serves me is the first step toward becoming a healthier, lighter version of myself. If not now, then when? I've realized that later is just often just a safer word for never. Waiting for the perfect moment usually keeps me stuck in the same place. There'll always be obstacles, doubts, or reasons to delay things. But if I keep waiting, then I might miss opportunities that won't ever come again. If something matters to me, whether it's starting a habit or changing my life or taking a risk, then best time is to begin is now. Even if the first step is small or uncertain. Progress is built on imperfect beginnings, not perfect. Matters most in my life. What matters most in my life that feels meaningful, not just successful on the outside. I value my peace, my growth, my mental well being, and the relationships that bring me genuine happiness. I want to build a life where I feel connected to my purpose and to my people who truly support me. Material things and achievements are important, but they don't compare to the inner fulfillment, emotional stability, and moments of real connection. If I protect these things, everything else in life becomes easier to navigate. What am I doing about the things that matter most in my life? I am trying to take more intentional steps towards the things that truly matter. I am learning to prioritize my mental health, set boundaries, and create healthier habits. I am paying more attention to the people who bring positivity to my life and distancing myself from unnecessary negativity. I am also focusing on growth, learning new skills, improving myself, and working towards long term goals. I am not perfect at it, but each small effort is a step in the right direction. What matters is consistency, not perfection. Why do I matter? I matter because my presence, actions, and words affect the people around me in ways I may not always see. I matter because I have the potential to grow, to create, to help, and to inspire in my own way. I matter because my journey is unique. No one else has lived the exact life that I am living, and that uniqueness has value. Even on days when it doesn't feel significant, I matter to the people who care about me and to the future version of myself that I am building. Have I done anything lately that's worth remembering? Yes. Maybe nothing dramatic or life changing, but I have made choices that show growth, responsibility, and strength. I have handled situations better than I would have in the past. I have taken steps towards personal goals, improved my mindset, or supported someone when they needed it. These small but meaningful actions are worth remembering because they prove that I am evolving. Sometimes the moments worth remembering aren't grand, they're the quiet signs that I'm becoming someone stronger, wiser, and more aware. Have I made someone smile today? Yes, I believe I have. Even if it was something small, sometimes a simple good morning, a small compliment, or just treating someone with respect can make a bigger difference than we realize. I've learned that making someone smile doesn't always require a big gesture. It can be showing patience, listening when someone talks, or even sharing a light moment with someone who might be having a tough day. Even if I didn't consciously plan, I think at least one of my interactions today carried a little positivity, and knowing that encourages me to be more intentional about spreading kindness because even a brief smile can change the course of someone's day. What have I given up on? I think I've given up on some dreams or habits not because I didn't want them, but because life got in the way and I doubted myself. I may have let go of certain goals because they felt too overwhelming at the time, or I convinced myself that I wasn't ready. And I've also given up on trying to be perfect or trying to please everyone. The version of life drains energy, but giving up isn't always negative. Sometimes letting go is a part of growth. Now I'm learning this and learning to revisit the things that I once abandoned, not with pressure but with curiosity, asking myself if they still matter to me or whether I can approach them in a healthier and more mature way. When did I last push the boundaries of my comfort zone? The last time I pushed the comfort zone was when I had to take on something that felt unfamiliar or intimidating, whether it was meeting with new people, taking a risk, or trying new skill. I remember feeling nervous, unsure if I could handle it, but I did it anyway because growth rarely comes from staying comfortable. Each time I step outside my comfort zone, even in small ways, I learn something new about myself. It reminds me that I am capable of more than I think. Even though stepping out feels uncomfortable, the confidence I gain afterwards makes it. If I had instilled one piece of advice in a newborn baby, what advice would I give? I would tell them, be kind to yourself as you grow. The world will teach them many lessons, some gentle, some harsh, but learning to treat themselves with compassion will carry them through everything. They will make mistakes, face failures, and meet people who don't understand them. But self kindness will help them stay grounded. I also want them to know that they don't have to rush and they don't have to compare the journey to anyone else. And life is not a competition, it's an experience. If they can love themselves, stay curious, and be brave enough to try, they will live a life that they can be proud of. What small act of kindness was once what small act of kindness was I once shown that I will never forget? There was a moment when someone showed me kindness at a time I didn't expect it. Maybe a gesture that seemed tiny to them but meant so much to me. It could have been a friend who listened without judgment, a stranger who helped when I was struggling, or someone who simply noticed that I wasn't okay and checked on me. The one moment that made me realize how powerful kindness can be. It taught me that even small actions, a few words, a small smile, a helping hand, can stay with someone forever. I will never forget it because it made me feel and seen, valued, and reminded me that there are good people in the world, and I try to pass the same energy forward to wherever I can.